What the hell is that noise in the background?
I don't know.
Are you listening to something?
No, unless my
It sounds
mom's
like.
TV. Unless my mom's TV is that loud. 'Cause she's watching the news.
Yeah, it's coming through plenty fucking clear. Like, I'm pretty sure if I wait long enough, I'm gonna know what the fucking 5-day forecast is in your neck of the woods.
Well, shoot. Good luck. Because I woke up this morning, it was all fog. I'm like, what the heck is this mess?
Holding the key firmly in my hands. I'm looking forward, I know where I stand. And this is it, I have nothing to lose. Now is the right time, I'm making my move. Oh, the high down. You can't bring me down. Oh, the high down. You can't bring me down.
What's up, everybody? This is your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder, and we're back with another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. Joining me, as always, is Eddie freaking B.
Hello, everybody.
After a week of waiting to come back and do this again, because we had so much fun the last time with our friends from Secret Friends Unite, let's get back into the regular routine, though. We're going to start with Eddie. What the hell have you been playing for now the last 2 fucking weeks?
We did an episode last week, so we're fine.
Yeah, but we didn't do Games of the Week last week. I have no idea what the hell you played
I thought
the
we
week.
did. We didn't do it with...
No, we totally just ran amok with that shit, dude.
Was that with Charlie?
Yeah. How the fuck do you...
You want to know why? Because of Smash.
You know, you were claiming you were the only one not drinking when we recorded that episode, and now you're the one that doesn't remember.
Because we did the Smash... Look, because we did the Smash episode, and before we recorded Smash, we was talking about what we was playing. That's why.
That's true. We did talk about it a little bit in chat, and I did say I had some thoughts on some things specifically to bring up. But anyways, let's dive in. What the hell have you been playing for the last those weeks?
Okay, so for Switch, I've been playing Wizards of Legend, getting more into that. Because Vertex Pop, the creators of Graceful Explosion Machine, they got a new game coming out, Crush KO, something like that. It's a beat 'em up, shoot 'em up that made me like jump back into Graceful Explosion Machine. Just truly
You've
love
not
the
managed
game.
to really escape that at all since you finally got a Switch, have you?
No, dude,
That seems to be the one that's really just sucking you back in every time.
And you know what? I was playing it so I could. I think I was doing like a time challenge, or I was doing some of the challenges, getting my score up, and then I had like went to the actual campaign, and I was trying to get some of my C's and D's up to at least like B's and stuff.
Right.
But I was just like, man, I'm like, I have that Ikaruga problem. It's just like when I don't play Ikaruga, my skill sucks. Even though I beat it 1,000 of times, like the 4th level, I still have a problem. The second third of the 3rd level of Ikaruga and the 4th level Ikaruga, I always have a problem. And I have to use like multiple continues to get through it. Cause I don't know, cause it's just like when you don't have a second player, those two parts just get completely difficult. But yeah, Graceful Explosion Machine I played. Speaking of Ikaruga, played that on Switch and then switched it to Xbox One. I played it on both systems, and had a good time with that. A little bit more of Octopath Traveler. For PS4,
I'm going to stop you 1 second. I just wanted to ask, because I know you ordered it. When does that the vertical Switch controller or Switch holder come in?
It's coming in November.
Is it? Okay.
October or November, yeah.
Okay.
So,
I was going to say, I know that you ordered a pair of them,
yes.
and so you and I are totally going to be digging into that with Ikaruga. I will likely post up some video of that on the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's in my hands from you. So that's something to look forward to, guys. We're gonna totally let you guys take a look at this awesome vertical shooter switch switch holder.
Yeah, because I think when the sale was over, I think whatever day it was, they took the money out, and I was just like, okay, so my stuff is paid for, so all they got to do is just send it. So we're
Right.
good with that. There's some other vertical games that's on Switch, and I think I'm gonna wait till I get mine to buy them, because there's some more shooters that's coming out, and I'm like, ooh, vertical shooting. I
Right.
need to get this. And then there's some indie games that's vertical too that I'm just like, yeah, I need to get this, but I'm waiting for that to come in.
I did have the pleasure once, about 5 years ago, of playing Ikaruga on a fantastic, like 50-some inch flat screen TV that had it was literally just propped up there. It didn't have the stand on the bottom of the TV, and it wasn't bolted to the wall or anything. So we kind of looked at it and went, fuck it. We just picked it up and dumped it on its side.
Oh, wow.
So we were totally rocking vertical Ikaruga on a 50-some inch TV. It was awesome.
I can't play that game horizontal.
I can on a big enough TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got used to that because the GameCube was my introduction to Ikaruga, and so I was used to that concept, before, like, flat screen, widescreen TVs were really a thing,
but
just as they were becoming.
I kind of wish that if you did switch it to horizontal, that they would switch your controls, too.
I don't know. Like, why would you switch the controls? It just puts big boxes on the side.
No, because when you're trying to go.
Oh, you're talking about me. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay. Never mind. You could always turn your controller sideways.
Oh, heck no.
I
tried that with the GameCube.
So, but yeah, no, I just wanted to throw that out there. It's awesome on a big, like 50-some inch TV that's actually been just flipped sideways for fun.
There are some TVs that I think you could just switch it.
You can spin it, yeah.
Yeah. So, but getting back to
just a consumer warning: if your TV is not designed for that, don't fucking do it, because they will tell you can actually fuck up your TV with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, again, it's fun. It's really tempting. Don't fucking do that to your TV.
And it's funny because the TV that I got now is really good. It just works wonders, and I love it. But the Target that I'm close to I think they had a 34-inch, or they have like some kind of 30-inch TV that's 4K. That's like $350. And I'm just like, I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm going to save up, and probably by time, hopefully, by Black Friday, I'll have enough to save to buy it, because I need to upgrade to a 4K since I got this Xbox One Slim.
I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling the draw on 4K. I don't need more resolution. What I need is better, more consistent frame rate and refresh rate.
I think I'm just preparing for the next wave of systems. That's all. I really don't care about the 4K, but I'm just like, okay, now I think they're in a budget sense, they're more available. So just to get one,
it'll be even more so in a couple of years. You may as well just wait, dude.
Pretty much. So
I wouldn't bother with it until the next gen is out, and even then, maybe a year or two.
Yeah, they won't be out until like 2020 or 21. So
yeah, seriously.
But PS4, been playing a little bit more of Detroit Become Human, enjoying that. Brought the game, I think it's called The Bridge. And it's like a kind of rotating puzzle game.
Is it all black, white, and grayscale?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's The Bridge. Dude, I love The Bridge. The Bridge is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's all based around MC Escher stuff.
Wasn't there another game like that? Galogo or something like that? But that one was like in color. Yeah, it was on.
Doesn't ring a bell.
It was on
Doesn't
PS.
mean it doesn't exist.
It was on PS4 for like $1.99 for their like really cheap sale, and I was just
You're
like,
asking the wrong person. That I don't keep up with PS4 at the moment.
well, they had some indie games like for like really cheap, and I had got paid, and I'm just like, oh, I got some money. I'm like, yeah, well, let me get some games. I think I spent maybe like $15 and got about like 5 games. So it's just like, okay, like cool, yeah. So been playing that. Really enjoyed trying to figure out this one puzzle. And I'll figure it out and get to it, and I'll be like, okay, got it. Now I can continue to go on. Not a bad game. Really, really enjoyable. Really relaxing to play.
It really does get super challenging at the end. I will forewarn you, there are a few puzzles that, like, parts of the puzzles are fairly reasonable and challenge, but like other parts of that stage,
Yeah,
are stupidly, bizarrely obscure. There was one in particular that I almost pulled my fucking hair out over. But overall, it's an awesome, really cool fucking game that if you have any love for MC Escher's artwork, you need to play the bridge because it pulls everything directly from Escher's art style.
Yeah, it does.
And it totally plays on that mechanic super well. The other one that just to throw it out there, I don't know if I ever talked about this on here or not because it's been a long while, but it kind of has some of that Escher effect without ripping Escher's art style. Was there's a great little mobile game called Monument Valley.
I heard of it.
Dude, Monument Valley is fucking awesome. I do highly recommend it. It's more almost 3D platform, whereas Bridge is more spin the world.
Yeah,
I guess would be the closest way of putting it. But it's that same concept of perception is everything puzzles.
Gotcha.
But it's Monument Valley is seriously, it's a couple dollars. It is fucking awesome. Go buy it.
Yeah. For getting back to PS4 real quick. Played Titanfall 2. I popped that in, and I'm kind of right now. I'm working on getting some more trophies, and it's pretty much getting the pilot helmets and stuff. And I'm kind of doing it on easy because I like already beat the game, so I don't really gotta like play anything. I do probably have to play it 3 more times, but I have to play like on harder difficulties to get those trophies and stuff. But right now I'm just trying to go back and get all the pilot helmet, the pilot stuff. So playing that, Xbox One, Forza Horizon 3, played a little bit more of that. Enjoying that game. But really been digging Mafia 3 on Xbox One. And kind of got to where now the world is kind of opened up, because you couldn't really do much, in the beginning, but now the world has opened up. So, I'm really digging that game. Not so much the music, but I understand what time period it was at for that music and stuff. But overall, the game is really great. I'm really enjoying that. I'm thinking of going probably to GameStop, and see if they got a copy of Rage, like a physical 360 copy.
Really?
Yeah, kind of want to pick it up because it's back. I think it's backwards compatible, and I kind of want to I want to play it to see if I should look forward to Rage 2, and probably discuss and probably see if that game was ahead of its time or what it was missing. Because of Rage 2 gameplay, some more of it being shown at QuakeCon, and Doom Eternal also being a little bit shown. It's kind of surprising to me that I'm just like, you know what? I want to see what if they were ahead of their time and what didn't work in this game for people to make it I think now because it's backwards compatible, definitely on Game Pass, I think people are just getting interested in that game. So people might start looking at it and playing it. Because I'm like, shoot, I still need to go buy Spec Ops the line for Xbox One. Even though I own it on PS3, I'm just like, well, it's backwards compatible, and I wonder if I could play that game online with some people. Do the 360 backwards thing. So, but that's pretty much what I've been playing, and I'll be like, hopefully at the end of the month I'll be picking up Hollow Knight. Well, no, I'm holding off for Hollow Knight. I said I'm waiting for physical, but definitely trying to go. I'm definitely going to get Okami, and I'm just waiting for my Dead Cells copy to come in before I be up for like 2.5 hours. Be like, I can't stop playing this.
Yeah, I will say I wouldn't bother wait. It is going to sound horrible, but I wouldn't bother waiting for the
Hollow Knight,
the physical release on Hollow Knight. Just fucking get it, and when it comes out, it's worth the double dip. But seriously, do not deprive yourself of this just because it takes Team Cherry forever to date something.
very true. I think it's because, well, there's just too much, and I don't want Hollow Knight to become a backlog once Dead Cells drop, because pretty much I'm gonna stop be playing Dead Cells by time. Not saying I'm gonna stop, but like when Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Spider-Man comes out next month, and then other indie games coming to Switch drop, it's just like I gotta focus on that, because then in October, a cavalcade of games coming for like all platforms, well, mostly Xbox One and Switch, because like I'm doing Battlefield 5 on Xbox One, forget Call of Duty 4, and then November and December is like all Switch. Just Cause 4, I probably will pick it up. I kind of have a duty to get that game, I should say, and I will leave it there. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
I dig it. So last couple weeks, I'm going to start with the first thing that I told Eddie. I've got some thoughts and opinions about. Finally cracked open my copy of Sonic Mania Plus, which the unboxing video for that is up on the YouTube channel, and I'll throw a link to that in the description. Which, for what it's worth, it's probably the lamest unboxing video of all of them at the moment, just because the package, while pretty, is really kind of sparse. I was a little sad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad because it wasn't stupidly expensive or anything, but I suppose all in all I got about what I paid for. But in any case, so the big draw for me with Sonic Mania Plus was 2 new fucking characters. I was ready for new characters because new characters means new ways to make my way through stages in Sonic, and that makes me fucking happy.
Yes.
So, I'm going to start with the one that kind of feels like a lame duck, honestly. Ray the Squirrel. Yeah, it's a squirrel. It's a flying squirrel, and his name is Ray. Ray's quirk or ability is to kind of sort of fly / glide. And I'm all right with that. Like, Knuckles could already glide of sorts. This is not that. This is, think like Super Mario World with the cape kind of like weird press forward to pitch down, back to pitch up kind of gliding, flying thing.
Yeah.
And everything in my brain tells me this is wrong. Like, this is a 100% hijacked mechanic from a direct rival competitor series. It does not belong in this game.
Is it the controls mostly, or
All right, I'm gonna put it to you this way: would you not have an issue if you turned on Sonic and suddenly your character played like Mario?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be mad if the controls was tight.
But that's the thing; they control so differently. Like you turn on a game and your brain goes, "Okay, I know what I'm in for right now. Let's trigger this set of muscle memory to work within this framework," and then suddenly, despite what your eyes are telling you,
Yeah,
the game is telling you ignore that and pretend you're playing Mario World.
but
It mentally conflicts.
but Sonic is supposed to. Well, this is a 2D Sonic. Like, but he's
This
supposed
is
to be
this is hardcore classic Sonic we're talking.
right. It's supposed to be a little bit fast. Uh, I know you don't have to hold down a button to run fast. You better not, because then that's when the whole Mario connection comes.
No, the big thing is, like I said, Ray's flight / glide mechanic
Mm-hmm.
is ripped directly from the cape in Super Mario World. They are identical mechanics and control the same.
Okay.
So it's just I don't know. Ray really didn't move the needle for me. It's so weird because the other problem with that for me too is that when you go to use it, you are by default holding that forward button to run, and then you jump and you want to keep moving forward, so you're holding the forward run button and you tap your jump button again to trip his glide ability,
Yeah.
and you're immediately getting pitched down straight into the fucking ground because you didn't let off the forward button.
Okay, now that's weird.
I'm telling you, it feels fucking goofy. It doesn't feel like it belongs.
Yeah, that
On
doesn't. That
On
doesn't
the
feel
other
right.
hand, Mighty the Armadillo is the other new character,
Mm-hmm.
and I like Mighty. I really like Mighty. Mighty gives me genuinely new ways to play the levels in Sonic Mania without feeling out of place. He feels about as out of place as Knuckles did the first time Knuckles debuted.
Ooh.
But even then, Knuckles didn't feel that out of place. Knuckles was very different from the other characters that were already there in Sonic and Tails, but he felt like he fit in and gave just enough of a new way to explore the stages that it was a welcome addition. And for me, Mighty is that welcome addition. So Mighty's got a couple things going for him, but the big thing here is that Mighty is kind of a tank. Like, Mighty the Armadillo has armor, and it's functional. So if I'm going to give an example here, if you're just running along
Mm-hmm.
and you drop into a pit of spikes, you're going to take that hit, you're going to take the damage, you're going to drop all your rings. But if you are rolling with Mighty and Mighty rolls into that pit of spikes, he'll unball, but you're not going to take the damage, you're not going to lose your rings. You get that moment to recover from your fuck up.
Ooh.
Yeah. And my brain tells me that there is genuine speedrunning potential here
Mm-hmm.
with Mighty being able to take that first hit penalty free. So Mighty is a much more interesting character play wise than Ray. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad they did a couple of characters. That's fine and good. Just me for my money. Ray Raid doesn't sit with me gameplay wise in a Sonic game.
Interesting.
Mighty, however, more than fucking makes up for it.
Man, I haven't played the
Oh.
Sonic game since I actually came to when me and you went to the barbershop and I had to Switch. That was the last time I played a Sonic game. Yikes.
That's the other thing too. Mighty is not just a defensive character. Mighty's also got some offensive juice going too. Mighty also has a down thrust attack. So it's kind of akin to when you get the water bubble shield.
Yeah.
And you're playing as Sonic, where you jump up and you hit your jump button again and it thrusts down. Imagine that without the bounce afterwards. Mighty has a down smash attack.
Ooh, wow.
So he's got the offensive and the defensive capabilities rolling for him here.
Interesting.
So Mighty I like. I would say Mighty alone makes it worth the buy. Plus there's some new mode stuff in Sonic Mania Plus compared to Mania. Just to kind of give everybody the deets, you should all know it by now, but hard copy of Sonic Mania Plus is going to run you $30 in the store. If you've already got Sonic Mania and you just want the two new characters and the modes upgrade, I believe the add-on content for that is only like an extra $5 though. So if you've already got Sonic Mania, which you fucking should, it's only an extra $5. If you don't already have Sonic Mania for some godforsaken reason, instead of $25 for Mania and then the Plus DLC, just go to the store, spend the extra couple dollars, and get yourself a pretty hard copy. Because really, honestly, the one thing that this hard copy had going for it for me, aside from the really pretty sleeve that it was in, because that white foil stamped sleeve that's all prismatic is really nice, is that the actual Switch case has an awesome reversible cover, so you flip it around and it looks like a Sega Genesis game cover.
Nice.
That totally made my day.
The good old blackish, the silver stripe.
Dude, it's awesome. It's pretty baller. But yeah, you can see all of that though on the unboxing video on the YouTube channel, and again, I will drop a link to that in the description of this week's episode, so you can go straight there and see for your fucking selves. But yeah, all in all, Sonic Mania is a must, and Plus really does just enhance the experience.
Nice.
Moving on from that, one that I need to stop fucking playing it. I've been playing more Lumines. I have other shit that I need to play, but I've just been in a mood where my brain does not want to focus on anything long term.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you can play Lumines for 20 minutes because it'll be that long max before you fuck it up and die.
I was about to say, you played it for 20 minutes and didn't realize it was actually 2 hours and a half. And you'd be like, where the heck did the time go?
Right. No, I did actually, so yesterday, the day before, I got the furthest in Lumines I'd ever gotten. And I by no means claim to be any good at the game, but I really like playing it. I wish I was better at the game so I could actually get through the rest of the fucking music to listen to it all. But they're honestly my biggest hang up with Lumines in terms of me being able to beat this damn game.
Yeah.
Is just that the visuals in some of those songs hurt my fucking eyes, dude. Like, I can't distinguish what the hell is happening here. And it makes it very difficult for me to accurately track what the hell's going on.
Lumis remind me of the Krusty game that came to the Super Nintendo, like Krusty Super Fun House.
I don't think I ever played it.
Yeah, you have multiple Krusties walking around. It's it's a strategy game. Just look it up, everybody. But every time I see Loomies, it makes me think of that.
Now I need to know what the hell this was, but and I probably will look it up now later, you ass. But the other one that I've been actually starting to really sink into, and again, shame on me because it should be Octopath, but I haven't been. I picked up Iconoclasts on my Switch.
Yes, yes.
We're just gonna stop the recording now because everybody's gone deaf. Thanks, Eddie. Jesus.
Everybody knows how I feel about Iconoclast. Like I said, it's pretty much my leading game of the year nomination.
I like Iconoclast. So you know that this is in the genre that is really just my baby, my go-to, my love.
Yes.
It doesn't. What I've played of it thus far, it doesn't feel quite like a full-fledged Metroidvania game. And that might open up in a little bit. I am admittedly not as far into it as I would like. But you get bits of that vibe. Like it's kind of like how Xeodrifter is a microcosm of Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Iconoclast kind of does the same thing.
Yes.
The difference being, oh, go ahead.
I think the Metro part of it is just the backtracking and getting some things. So that's pretty much of it. I think like getting new weapons and new abilities and stuff like that is far and few, because you really don't get another gun in that whole game.
Well, and it's not necessarily about getting a different gun, even if that one gun does different stuff.
Yes.
Look back to Axiom. Like, so far I've got the base blaster and the rolling bomb thing for the gun and the wrench. But I dig that the wrench doubles not only as an offensive weapon and even a defensive weapon in some aspects, but it also does double duty as basically your grappling hook.
Yes.
I will say that the grappling with the wrench feels like it's a little off. Like, it's weird to me that if I'm standing right under a bolt, which is a grapple point,
yeah,
and I jump straight up and I hit the wrench, it won't grab the bolt. That you have to directionally jump into that bolt in order to grapple to it.
Yes.
That's fucking weird to me. Like, something about that doesn't feel right to me yet.
I think once you get more into it, because you don't really get it, you don't really see it a lot throughout the whole game. I mean, there are times that you're going to use it, but there's nothing like a trick jump kind of part that uses it and stuff.
Right. But other than that, the movement feels solid. It feels fairly quick. It's super pretty. I mean, this game is like Owlboy kind of pretty, where it really should be played on a big screen.
And it was done by one person, and it took him 8 years to do it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this game is really pretty, and I said it when we talked about playing Owlboy.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one where this game has some real pretty, not quite as much as Owlboy does, but it's got some real pretty detail, very densely packed into it visually. And honestly, playing it in handheld mode on the 7-some inch screen on the Switch just doesn't give that game's visuals enough room to breathe to actually appreciate everything that's in there.
It reminds me of Gunstar Hero for the Sega Genesis. It has a treasure look to it.
I could see that.
So, but like, I think what drew me into Iconoclast, yes, the gameplay and everything, like almost like same thing that you said, Larry. I think this is probably one of the best stories of an indie game that I have played, compared to like Hellblade and stuff like that. I think this kind of story kind of outdoes Axiom Verge in a sense, story wise. I'm only talking about story, not really gameplay wise, but story wise, I think this is the best one that I've ever encountered, because it's just like, okay, you're dealing with religion and ideology, and you see the effects that it does. So I think the narrative and the story is strong in this game. So,
So this is going to sound a little fucking weird to you, but
mhm.
hear me out. And again, keeping in mind that I'm coming in from the viewpoint here that I walked into this and I wanted Metroidvania. But the story is good. I like the story so far. I like the writing. I like the subject matter. It's one of those things that I frequently discuss with people, given the opportunity. Talking, like you said, religion, ideology, and most importantly, the dangers of religious zealotry.
Yes.
But here's the thing. This is where Axiom has it beat. For a Metroidvania game, Iconoclast is super fucking talky.
Yeah.
Whereas for my money, Axiom struck the perfect balance. Because Axiom told a solid story. It did. I really liked the story in Axiom.
Yeah.
I liked the writing. I liked the narrative. I liked the way the characters' dialogue was written. But I think Axiom hit the perfect balance of, I want to push a narrative-driven story into a Metroidvania game without overdoing it.
And the thing with Axiom and Iconoclast is that Iconoclast has a bigger cast, so
it does,
and it has kind of a good versus evil theme to it. And Axiom Verge kind of gives the feeling of when you're alone and you have to explore. So, like, Axiom Verge has more of a true Metroid style game in a sense.
Iconoclast is the closest thing you can get to making a Metroidvania without it quite being a Metroidvania.
Yeah, that I agree.
It lives just on the outskirts of that genre. Like, it's just outside of downtown and past suburbia.
Yeah, I agree.
It's super close to it. It's definitely related. I don't know if I call it full-blown Metroidvania, but you can tell the influence is there.
Yes.
But no, I do like Iconoclast. It's just because it is so wordy and so talkative. Again, it's like it's not quite as bad as Octopath, but I have to be in the headspace to go, I'm ready to sit down with a game now that is going to talk my fucking ear off for a while.
And I can understand, I can understand that. I think when it comes to a narrative perspective, and delivering a story, Iconoclast does a really great job for it.
It does. To me. I'm not knocking it by any means. I'm just saying, for anybody that hasn't already bought it and you've heard and read some stuff about it, I don't want to say buyer beware, because you should get it. It's good. Mm-hmm. It deserves your dollars. It's just a lot of the comparisons made in discussing Iconoclast don't quite
match up,
do reality justice. and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Mhm.
I feel really bad because I feel like I'm fucking harping on Iconoclast for not being something else. It's just I would rather somebody be aware of what they're getting into. And again, part of me was a little let down that it wasn't as strong of a Metroidvania game as I was hoping for or looking forward to more accurately. But it comes close enough that had I have had my expectations adjusted walking into it
Yeah.
before I started it, I would be all over this shit real fast.
I can't wait for you to play more.
I know, and I'm hoping to sit down with more of it on Wednesday because I have the day off Wednesday. I've got a few things to do to get ready for this weekend because it's my motherfucking birthday.
Woohoo!
But anyways, but yeah, I'm planning on digging into it more on Wednesday when I got some downtime, and I might spend some more of that downtime finally starting Octopath proper and getting past the first half hour. So, again, I played a fuck ton of the original demo. I like it. I fucking adore it. Everything has kind of been in upheaval for me recently with work shit being shit. And so I really just haven't had the downtime or the me time in order to dedicate myself to sitting down to play something as big and grindy as Octopath. And I say the word grindy, and I know it usually has kind of a negative connotation. I don't mean it that way. Like, I finished the story content in that original demo, and I love the fact that I could just fucking wander around for an extra hour or two doing nothing but random encounters just to grind, even though it wasn't going to get me anywhere. I'm like, I really just want to grind this because it played so well. There's a reason we call them basics and fundamentals because those are the building blocks that shit should be based upon.
Yes.
But so I'm going to quit prattling on about a game that I haven't spent enough time with yet. So Lumines, Iconoclast. I'm trying so hard not to buy a digital copy of Dead Cells. It's so hard, damn it.
Just one more week. Just one more week.
Yeah. The signature edition that I ordered ships out either on or right around Friday, and should take about a week to get here. But
it's because the physical release is next Tuesday, right? I think.
I don't know. Like I said, I know that my copy is supposed to be shipping out on Friday, somewhere between Thursday and Saturday.
Okay.
And it'll take about a week to get here, but that's one that has a nice big package to it. This is my first special edition from Signature Edition. Actually, overall, this is my first buy from Signature Edition Games.
Yeah.
Who is very very similar business model to Limited Run, just different company. But super pumped. I'm really looking forward to this coming in and sitting down to do the unboxing video for this because this one I've seen everything that's in it.
Yes.
Unless they pack in some extra surprises, which go ahead, like that awesome Dead Cells T-shirt that's up on Fangamer that I totally want for my birthday.
Ooh,
did you see that?
No, I didn't even know they did one.
Check my Facebook. I shared it. It's fucking awesome. I put it up. Like I saw that the Motion Twin guys shared it on their Facebook that there's a sick Dead Cell shirt on Fangamer, and I shared it out. I'm like, my birthday's on Friday. I wear a 2XL. So I was not subtle at all, but no, that shirt's pretty fucking badass. But
did they just release it today? Like showed it off today?
Yeah. Dude, just go on my Facebook, you'll see it. It's in today's shit. But yeah, there's so much good stuff in this Dead Cells pack that I cannot wait to do the unboxing video for you guys and put it up on under YouTube's. So that's coming, which means by
nice. Yes.
yeah.
That's nice.
As a matter of fact, I will throw a link to that as well into the show descriptor, so that way if anybody's interested, you can totally check that out and support Motion Twin, Dead Cells, and Fangamer. Fangamer, mad props, by the way. They do some really awesome stuff, including the wicked sweet Hollow Knight t-shirt that I got a couple weeks ago. That just makes me such a happy boy. But yeah, can't wait. It's just so hard not to fucking double dip because I want to be playing it right now on my Switch. Like, I know I have a copy of it on my PC that I've poured, 150 to 200 hours into. But I'm like, nope. I can't bring myself to put more time into it, knowing that I'm going to be moving over to playing it primarily on my Switch from here on out.
Yeah.
And so, that being said, though, I will say, I don't know if you saw this, and I think it's just the PC version, just because of how it needs to interact.
Yeah.
But they threw in some features for people that are playing the game on and streaming it on like Twitch. Did you see this?
I heard something about it, but I haven't seen it.
This is fucking cool. So if you're playing and you're streaming Dead Cells on Twitch on your PC, I'm almost positive it's PC, and if I'm wrong, somebody can like punch me in the shoulder. I don't care. But in any case, they've got a thing where the viewers can interact and like either send you item drops or fuck with you and curse your character and shit mid-run, like live on the stream. Like, that's fucking cool as hell. Like, they knew that this was a game that is destined for Twitch, and they built it accordingly.
Yeah,
and that makes me super pumped.
They're just getting a lot of love because of that Nintendo Switch version. So people are picking it up wherever they can, and so that's good marketing. Like, I think their sales like pretty much really jumped everywhere on any platform.
I would be stunned if they didn't move 500,000 copies, or by the end of the month across all platforms.
I think probably I agree. They might have not moved more digitally, but if there's more physical copies that people bought, that's more money for them. So that physical version would make up for those digital sales.
I'm just talking in terms of number of people playing.
Oh, shoot. Oh, heck, that thing jumped way up.
Like, I haven't seen any actual numbers on it yet, but I'm stunned if by the end of the month they haven't moved 500,000 units.
It just shows the power of switching consoles, because it kind of feels like the PC camp, like they got dead sales or the early access, and then the talk of it kind of went away. And then ever since it came out on console, there's still talk for that game, and it's more the console talk than it is the PC. It's kind of weird, but
and part of that too, though, is because the console release is now the finished product. The game is done.
Yeah.
The early the PC one, from last week to more than a year before was early access, and that game really did mold and change significantly over its year plus in early access. It really did start out very, very basic, very rudimentary, and over the course of that year, they put out like 8 or 9 major content updates, and that's super impressive. Like, these guys understand the right way to do early access.
Yes.
So, to everybody that puts stuff on Steam, take notes, pay the fuck attention. This is how you early fucking access right. Rest of you clowns, get the fuck out.
If you're paying Steam $100 and your stuff is janky, that's a waste of money and people's time.
No, it's not. I almost guarantee you almost every one of those probably makes at least their $100 back anyways.
If it's
which
garbage,
is really the travesty of it all. But in any case, just because the thought was rattling around in my head, like if the Switch wasn't out, I feel like Dead Cells would be the game. If there was any game at all, Dead Cells would be the game that could pull the Vita, at least momentarily, back from the fucking grave.
I think if it wasn't for Nintendo Switch, nobody wouldn't have cared about Dead Cells, console-wise.
I don't know. I mean, it's solid enough. Don't get me wrong. Switch feels like the right place for it. It does, but it is good enough on its own that I firmly believe that the console release still would have done solid on the other two platforms, PS4 and Xbox One.
That literally depends.
Again, for what it's worth, they've been doing some killer marketing. They really have. Like, seriously, their Facebook has been a fucking delight to watch. I get excited every day because even, leading up to, day of, and, up until current, from release to now, they're putting out awesome daily updates on their Facebook page, like, Dead Cells tip number 17, don't do this thing, and there's a video clip of somebody doing the fucking thing.
And it kind of works for them in a sense, and I know we got to get on to the our main
News.
topic.
I know.
Is that it's also working for them on Twitter. So if they're doing that kind of marketing on Facebook, everybody talking and showing off the gameplay and hashtagging it Dead Cells, hashtag Nintendo Switch, that's free marketing for them. So they're getting so much marketing and so many sales just by using both platforms the right way.
Yeah. No, I mean their marketing
Twitch
has been on point. One last thing before we stop talking Dead Cells and we get into news. If you haven't seen it, the best thing to come out of all of their promotional stuff is their animated trailer for Dead Cells.
Yeah.
It was fucking hysterical.
It's really good.
It's one of the best minute and 30 seconds of your life ever. It has all the charm and the humor that make me love this game so much. Just packed into a nice little 90-second package. But that being said, that covers pretty much what I've been playing, what you've been playing. So we're going to get into news in just a moment. But before that, break. And we're back with news. I don't want to drag. I told Eddie I don't want to drag on this too long. But it needs to be talked about because it's already been beaten to death and everybody's talked about it. But for anybody that listens to us that lives under a fucking rock otherwise, last week saw a big
controversy.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Come out of IGN, who I have tremendous love for. I know that there are lots and lots of people that shit all over IGN, but I like the site. I like their guys. I call Pear a friend. But in any case, the now former editor of IGN's Nintendo content, Philip Mewson, basically lifted his review of Dead Cells from Boomstick Gaming. Boomstick called him out on it, and within about a 24-hour time span, the review got pulled, and again, like I said, within 24 hours of the whole thing going up, IGN let go Philip. And honestly, if it had stayed right there, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal as it was. Don't get me wrong; it still was a big fucking deal. I mean, you're talking about an editor for a major, if not one of the biggest, gaming journalism media outlet sites out there, getting nailed for plagiarism, and play just shy of like wholesale. For anybody that hasn't already seen the video, the side by side, aside from tweaking a couple of words here and there, really, the entire structure of the review was just about word for word. But worse still was the video review, listening to Philip deliver his reading on it compared to Boomstick's, and the speech patterns, the cadence is all identical. It's bad. It's not pretty. I'd make jokes about this, but it's not funny. It's really just fucking sad. But again, if it had just stopped there at the fact that within a day of the accusation coming to light, IGN letting go of Philip, it got worse about a day and a half later when Philip posted his, and this is where I'm using air quotes here, his apology video, which
I consider more of a response than an apology.
Yeah, that's probably a more accurate description of what it really was, but it's not what he posted it as. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
But that being said, he kind of hit every stupid thing he could possibly do with this in like one fell swoop, and it's gone already. I mean, there's been such a hard backlash on this, that video is gone. He's yanked it. Insofar as I've seen, he's been pretty much silent since, which honestly, from that video, kind of goes to the theory of, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But, this video it starts with him, saying, if you're watching this, you're here because you want to hear my side of things. I'm kind of going, no, there's no side here. We're here because you owe somebody an apology in a very public forum, because you very publicly lifted his work. But the whole point got missed completely, because he sits there and he apologizes to his now former coworkers at IGN, and he apologizes to Motion Twin for marring the otherwise extremely successful release of Dead Cells with his plagiarism mess getting plastered all over the internet. And I will say, I don't know, I haven't heard anything from or seen it anywhere other than his claim on the video, which I won't discredit, that people are harassing not just him, but also family and everything else. For God's sakes, if you're doing that shit, don't. That's beyond fucking childish. Seriously, yeah, the dude fucked up, and that's on him. But for God's sake, leave his family out of it. They've probably got more than enough going on right now to fucking deal with. That they don't need your bullshit on top of it. And even then, I leave him alone. He's got enough of his own mess to stew in right now, to try and get his shit straight going forward, and figure out whatever the fuck he's gonna do. Um, but the fact remains that in all of this, he manages to the two big points here. He manages to not apologize to Boomstick Gaming, whose work he lifted wholesale, and manages to, and in not doing so, manages to completely avoid owning up to the fact that he lifted somebody else's work and plagiarized their review. And that's the part that really set me off. That he's making claims that this whole thing went big just because sites like Kotaku and others are just ripping him and putting it in the headlines just for the fucking clicks and the views. Like, no, it's being talked about because you committed like the ultimate sin of journalism in any industry. You did the big ultimate no, and then you refuse to own it. At which point, that totally makes any apology that you're making just completely insincere, or at least in the eyes of the public, the sincerity and validity of your apology goes right out the fucking window. And the icing on the cake in all of this is that not only was the quote unquote apology, or as he calls it, the my side of things video, just bad form, but he made the terrible mistake of, I'm not even going to call it a mistake at this point. I'm going to say that he had the audacity to monetize this video on YouTube. I'm like, really? Really?
Well, that part, I was just like, I wonder if he just, he recorded it and then just uploaded it and didn't even think about monetizing it.
My gut says no, that's not the case.
So,
again, I don't think we'll ever know because most likely the industry will never hear from him again.
Oh, we'll hear from him.
I don't know. I mean, it only got worse after that at that point because not only was there apparently claims from before he started at IGN that he had lifted his FIFA review from elsewhere, but also somebody else backtracked to his Samus Returns review and found the source that he plagiarized that one from too. So, I mean, apparently there is a pattern of behavior here, and the only reason it really blew up now is because somebody finally caught him and called him out on it. And at this point, the difference being that, as I understand, he got called out on it with the FIFA one too, but it managed to kind of blow it off and survive it because at that point, he wasn't in the major limelight that he was at IGN running their Nintendo coverage department. So, but at this point, it's all blown up in his face in the least pretty way possible. So, I feel, dude, I had a thought pop into my head the other day, and I almost felt bad about thinking it in the first place. But I myself, I watch NBC. I love NBC.
Hmm.
It's something that I personally look forward to every weekend. But and one of the things that comes up and gets mentioned frequently is the various wikis for different games that they've got up on IGN, because they have some of the fine folks that do all the hard work to put those awesome wikis together.
Yes.
And I almost felt bad for the thought cropping into my head, but I'm like, I wonder if IGN has a wiki on how to do a proper apology that he could plagiarize so he could get it right.
Nope.
And I mean, as soon as the thought occurred to me, I'm like, ouch. That's that's almost too mean even for me, but there it was anyways. I still almost feel bad for cracking that joke, but in any case, we're gonna move on from there. The other big highlight that just cropped up in the last day or so is Bethesda has thrown down the gauntlet with Sony. So, um, just to kind of take you through the nuts and bolts here, for anybody that's been paying any attention, at this point that Sony has been a great big fucking stick in the mud when it comes to crossplay with other platforms. Nintendo's gotten on board, Microsoft's gotten on board, PC's gotten on board, which just means Microsoft got on board twice. They just looked like extras out of a Doublemint commercial.
Wow.
Oh, I went there. That joke is so old school.
Wow.
Double your fun, bitches. So, but Sony, however, big stick in the mud, says, I'm not going to play nice with anybody. Fuck all y'all. I'm the giant on the playground. I do what I want. However, Bethesda's new Elder Scrolls card game that's in the works is boasting crossplay between platforms, and Sony's saying no. We're still standing by our whole we are an island shtick. And Bethesda said, here's the deal: you let it crossplay with everybody else, or your system doesn't get our game. And I'm super proud of them for throwing down the gauntlet like that with Sony. However, this is the part that makes me sad. They're throwing the gauntlet down over their card game rather than where they should be with either Elder Scrolls Online or Fallout 76. And I think that move it kind of takes the wind out of the sails on this whole thing for me. I don't know about you, but it feels like it's Bethesda's way of going, we could totally make ourselves look like the heroes without actually risking much, because if our card game doesn't make it onto PlayStation, then big whoop, because it's our card game versus one of their big flagship titles like Fallout 76, where they could totally put the fucking screws to Sony and go, you want this shit? You're going to have to play nice with your brothers. And I think it's a shame. I would really love them to genuinely stick by their guns and say, crossplay fucking matters to us, all or nothing.
This is the thing
Or
about it.
Sony.
But this is going to lose out more than Sony would. And because Bethesda in this moment is going through some highs and lows. Now, for a card game, and whatever reason that they have for it, crossplay is not important to Sony. So if you don't want to put your platform on their game, I mean your game on their platform, they don't care. They got all the sales of the system, and they can have other people come and get other games that doesn't do cross platform and play them. So that relegates Bethesda to Xbox and PC. A little bit with Switch with some games, but some of their newer titles is not coming to Switch.
But you know what it is? Motherfucking Doom Eternal.
Yeah, and that probably won't even be crossplay because of the multiplayer. And people, I think what's going to happen is that people are going to look at Skyrim Legends, and if they don't even pick it up on Xbox One or PC, like if it don't have a big sales number, Sony is not missing out on anything. You know,
Oh, I know, and that's what keeps this from being a totally baller move on
like
Bethesda's part.
like what's going to happen is that Sony is just like, well, we won't get one card game, that's fine, but we got like a whole bunch of other games that's coming to our platform, and we'll get money, we'll get sales there, because I'm just like, I think people care more, well, some people care more about Call of Duty Black Ops 4 over Skyrim Legends. If they, so that card game is going to probably do so little that crossplay won't matter. I've even said that if Sony is not even letting people change their name on the PSN, what makes you think they're going to change their mind because they're not getting a card game to come to their system?
Yeah.
But that,
Like I said, this...
it, like, I could understand, and even Fallout 76 is not even worth the time. I could understand if they were saying something about Elder Scrolls 6 or anything, but they're not. They're doing a card game.
This is like the equivalent of acting all tough and ballsy when somebody's got a gun pointed into your head and going, "Go ahead, fucking shoot me. I dare you. Bring it, bitch." But you're standing behind bulletproof glass. It's a whole lot of posturing without any real meaty substance behind it.
I think what Bethesda needs to do is first of all, before you even talk about crossplay, make sure that your games are up to snuff. Fix all the jank that's in your past games and that might be in your current game before you even worried about crossplay.
I hear Bethesda has a restraining order against Terminex. That's why their games are so fucking buggy.
I mean, they're a good publisher and developer at times, but the Sony crowd is not caring about this. I think the Sony crowd pretty much has given up. They're gonna buy the games that they want on PlayStation 4 and they're gonna move on. And whoever want crossplay, if they already own a system that does it, they'll just go there and play it. I mean, what loss is it going to be to Bethesda and what loss is going to be to Sony? Okay, they both won't get that money, but Bethesda will get the sales of the same game on Switch and Xbox and PC. Sony would get some money from somewhere else or from past Bethesda games. So it doesn't even matter if they introduce crossplay or not.
Yeah. No, I think it's a shame. Bethesda was so close to pulling a truly like masterpiece baller move.
I think it would matter more to Sony if Activision did it than Bethesda. Bethesda is not such a big player compared to what Activision is because of the exclusive deal that Activision and Sony has, in a sense.
I don't know. I think Bethesda is as much of a big player as Activision is. It's apples and oranges. Whereas Activision is putting out like seminal yearly titles like Call of Duty and whatever the hell else they do these days, versus Bethesda putting out something every handful of years,
but
but there's such massive experience.
But see, Bethesda's only standing out because of Nintendo at the moment. Like, people talk more about Bethesda's game in a good light with Nintendo Switch. Didn't nobody talk about didn't really no one talk about Wolfenstein 2. People said Doom was fun, and then they moved on from that. Fallout 4 came out. It did its sales mostly on PC, and then that stopped getting talked about.
Yeah.
So Sony is not missing out on anything with crossplay. You know, it would make a big deal if Rockstar and Activision said they weren't going to bring any games that they know would sell big on Sony's platform if Sony doesn't change their mind on crossplay, I should say.
Yeah. Right. It's one that we'll just have to wait out and see what happens, but I really do hope that at the very least Bethesda sticks by their guns on this one.
Bethesda needs to make sure that game is even worth of getting before they even think about crossplay.
I think it's supposed to be a freebie. I think. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm almost positive that the Elder Scrolls card game is supposed to be a freebie, kind of Hearthstone model. But that's all. That's all we're going to drag on for this week. As always, you can catch us at our home on ShoutEngine.com. All the show content still hasn't made it up to the YouTube channel yet. It's taken me a little longer to get to than I had planned on or anticipated, just due to some personal insanity going on at work for me. But like I said, there is the unboxing stuff. There is some World 1-1 plays up there. A couple other odds and ends, and most of the show stuff is up there though. So if you want to consume it or share it with your friends that way and subject them to our awful fucking nonsense on a weekly basis, that's your choice, and we wholly encourage that you share our sultry voices with all of your friends. But in any case, as always, at home on our our home at ShoutEngine.com, iTunes, Google Play Music, and most of your other favorite podcast catchers. So, Eddie, anything to close with tonight?
Hopefully everybody's playing Dead Cells. Hopefully everybody's getting their list ready for fall games in winter. We're about to go in the next pretty much for the next few months. Like, there's gonna be some big titles rolling out everywhere. So be prepared for September and October. Those are kind of the two big months for a lot of games. So I'm like, just be ready. And then we'll probably be expecting another Nintendo Direct. So hopefully we'll get some more information about the Nintendo Online system, and we'll talk about that when they broadcast it. We do know that one game is going to be on it, and that's Super Mario Brothers 3. So that's cool.
That's a thing. So, all right. Well, boys and girls, this is the end of the episode. Get hype!
Hi.
Good night, everybody. Peace.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time on World 1-1.